In this video, I want to go over last week's problem that you had to submit dealing with the annuity problem. That was the $3,000 per year, compounded quarterly at 9.25% for 15 years. First thing that I usually do when I have a problem utilizing the analyst is to make sure that everything is cleared out. And by doing that, of course, let me digress for a second. We are concentrating on the third row. N, number of payments, interest per year, PV, and think of PV as a single sum. Think of payment as your annuity mode, and future value, of course, is really what we want to calculate, what the future value will be. So the first thing that I do, I always clear out my worksheet, and I'm thinking of this as an Excel worksheet. Second, clear TVM. So really, in other words, second, it's everything above the future value is clear TVM. So, and then I simply come back and second, quit. And so I've cleared out a worksheet. I have a new worksheet, and I'm looking at right here as a cell. So in this particular problem, what I'm going to have to do is, since it's compounded quarterly, I'm going to have to go second payment per year, and you can see this is set up for annual compounding. So I have to change that to quarterly, 4, and enter. Make sure you enter it. And go back to second, quit. And let's see, what else do I have to do? Okay, N is the total number of periods. Well, since this is quarterly compounding, 4, I have 15 years, so 4 times 15 is 60. So it's going to be a total number of periods, which is 60. My interest is 9.25 interest per year. Be mindful of the fact this is one of these idiosyncrasies with the analyst. We've already changed the compounding period to quarterly. I do not have to go in and take 9.25 and divide it by 4. The analyst knows that. The analyst didn't know it about the total number of periods. That's why we had to calculate or multiply quarterly 4 times 15. 3,000, I'm going to be able to invest $3,000 per year, quarterly compounding. So from an analyst standpoint, what I have to take into account is, okay, I got to change my 3,000, which will be my annual investment, and I have to come up with what it would be on a quarterly basis. 3,000 divided by 4 is 750. And of course, I'm going to change my sign as the analyst is thinking that this is an outflow, and go into payment. As I indicated, payment mode would be like for annuities. PV, if we're trying to calculate a future value, would be for a lump sum, like I'm going to invest that $3,000 one time. But in this particular problem, it's $3,000 per year. That's the annuity. So coming back to figure out how much I will have, compute future value, and I will have $95,417.74. So once again, what I usually do is that when I go in to do one of these problems, I immediately clear everything out, clear out the worksheet by going second, clear TVM. Then I read the problem, and I wanted to ascertain. I want to be able to determine, is it annual compounding, semi, monthly, quarterly, whatever, and I would go in second payment per year to find out what the analyst currently has, and I would make a change if necessary. Number of periods, make a change there necessarily, and then incorporate the interest rate or the interest factor, put in the annuity amount, as I indicated here, 3,000 divided by 4, and then compute future value. So hopefully this helps for those of you that probably had a little difficulty in arriving at the correct answer of 95,417.